For those of you wondering about the success of the Failing Podcast, we're trending down.
I was wondering. That sounds like good news.
Yes. So based on the title, I'd call it a success.
Yes. We're failing, so it's successful.
That's what we did. We set ourselves up for failure. Successful failure.
Right.
Right.
How much longer are we going to do this?
As long as people listen. So we started with 4 people, and now we have 3.
Oh.
If there's still one, cue in, folks.
Sounds like a waste of time.
Gonna need you to put a cue in on that keyboard so we know you're there.
If you are a one person that's listening, just,
Call
invite us out to breakfast.
Yeah, that would be great.
We'll even pay our own way. If you want to hear us ramble on for an hour and or 20 minutes or whatever it is that we're doing on this, and we're down to one listener, I think that you deserve it.
You do. We'll come prepared with subject matter. We'll be ready.
Why? We don't prepare this with subject matter.
I prepare this every week. You don't prepare.
Oh.
You have nothing.
Maybe I'm the reason that we're in a downward trend.
Probably why. I come prepared. You come
ready to give my input.
Yes.
It's valued.
Well, and it's funny because anytime that we do well on social media, you're the one telling the story. So people tend to like you more, yet I'm the one that comes up with the content, and then you tell a story, and all of a sudden we get 16,000 views. I don't understand.
Sometimes the story I tell is it's a brain tickler. And contrary to the rest of your body, well, typically you like it when your brain is tickled a little bit.
I agree with that, except for my armpits. I don't like being tickled on the armpits.
Well, I don't like being tickled at all. That's why I say contrary to the rest of the body.
Oh.
Your brain sometimes deserves a little...
what I'm trying to say is
for those that aren't viewing on YouTube, I just made a tickling gesture with my fingers. I didn't just randomly giggle.
My point is
tickling.
What I was trying to get out is that for some reason,
for those on YouTube that aren't watching on YouTube, I tickled Luke's armpit that time. I didn't just go. I actually made a tickling gesture.
We've actually had 89 downloads of the podcast.
What's it? Does that mean that 89 people have listened to it?
Yes.
Oh. That's more than 3.
That's more than 3. Folks, I just want to say thank you to all 89 of you. Hopefully it's not Mom 89 times.
I don't know if that's the way it works or not.
Well, I don't know either, but hopefully it's not.
So is that 89? Is that 89 based off of whatever service we're using to upload? So it's all of them together.
I'm guessing
Correct.
It's 89 downloads overall. Now this is we had just released episode 3 this morning, so we're going based off of 2 episodes and then the newest release as of today. This morning. Wow. I mean, really, I'd call that a successful failure. I mean, more people are listening than I thought would.
Yeah.
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 I don't know that most podcasts probably get on and talk about their trends.
Yeah, I don't think normally they give their numbers away.
Oh.
Well, we pull back that curtain.
We're transparent.
You know what? We want to be transparent with our 5 or 6 listeners that have downloaded it 6 times. So
we walk into that main chamber in the land of Oz.
That's right.
And we draw back that curtain.
We pull back that curtain so hard, we're like, Oz, you are going to reveal yourself today. You are not the wizard you said you were. You are just a man. And that's us. 2 men.
Lost somewhere over a rainbow.
Wandering.
Way up high.
We're all trying to get there with you. We're doing it together.
Even though we feel like we're really wasting your time.
Well, and if it's, if it is adding any significance to your day, we're just thankful to be a part of it. So cue in and let us know.
Welcome.
Fresh out the box. Stop. Look and watch. Ready yet? Get set. It's
The Failing Podcast.
Eat my short. Not the mama. Not the mama.
Goodbye.
Hey, if you're out there and you want us to keep doing this, maybe a share. Because, you know, Mom downloading it on every single app device probably isn't going to work for long. You know, she'll get tired of that.
Is that what she's doing?
I don't know. I'm just taking guesses here. So, what with Flag Day coming, what an opportunity to invite your friends to share and
To wave that Failing Podcast flag.
Yes, and
Available in the merch store
and apparently we need to get a flag for the merch store.
sometime in the next couple of weeks.
It's going to be a picture of the two of us holding hands.
No.
Didymophobia.
It's going to say pride.
Pride.
Twin pride.
Twin Didymophobia pride.
That would be like, I'm proud of the fear of
fact
twins.
that I'm afraid of twins. Now that is something to take pride in. Right, Ben?
Yeah.
Ben is the only twin that's actually afraid of twins.
No, I'm
So,
not. I'm not afraid of twins. I just got a bias. Remember,
That's right.
I have a twin bias.
Twin bias.
I don't. I think twins are weird.
Well, there were some things I wanted to talk about today.
Really?
But here we go. Number one, I wanted to mention Bekah Garrison, who,
Is it Cook or is it Garrison?
well, her last name is now Cook. It was Garrison as we were growing up. You wouldn't remember her because we generally didn't. She is our younger sister,
Yes.
and often forgotten.
Poor thing.
Yeah, I feel bad, and I think that part of our series is we just want to be honest with people.
Yeah.
We want to be real.
Open up.
Tell people the truth, and when we are called out for a mistake,
Yes.
doggone, we're gonna fix that.
We are going to rectify the mistake that was made. We will print a retraction if necessary.
The retraction will come. Now, I can't promise you the same 4 people were listening to that podcast that are listening to this podcast.
That's true.
But I can tell you that if you are listening to this podcast, we need to fix something that we said in episode 3. We gave our little brother Levi credit for calling the Grand Canyon a big rock. And our little sister, Bekah, who, I honestly, until the moment she texted, forgot was actually with us on that trip.
Oh.
She corrected it, and said that it was actually her that called it the big walk, because she was young enough that she wasn't even able to say her R's yet. So
I feel like I remember it the other way.
I do too. You know what? Maybe Becca's making that up.
Like she's just trying to get herself thrown in there.
That
doesn't seem like her, though. She's never really been much for the spotlight.
Yeah, I know. But the fact that she would text to correct, I think she's just saying to us, guys, I'm here.
Can I say something on that?
Yeah.
I see. Here's the. I think that this is like it. I think this is something that we can blame on our parents.
You remember they're 2 of our own listeners.
I know. But they'll understand
Okay.
as soon as I get through this. Okay.
Okay.
So how old were we when Rebecca was born?
Well, we would have been 6.
6 years old.
Right.
5.5-ish, 6-ish.
I don't know. I thought we were 6 years apart.
Do you remember there was a show that Bob Saget did
Right.
every Sunday night that
Funniest
wasn't
Home
Full
Videos?
House? America's Funniest Home Videos.
Yes.
One of our dreams when we were that age was to be on the American's Funniest Home Video. What other opportunity do you have, right? They
Right.
said, hey, we'll make a funny video.
I don't know
That's
if
a
you
great
guys
dream.
know this about
Yeah.
us, but we tend to like to try to make funny videos. It's one of those things that we do.
It started at
It
the age
started-
5,
Started
obviously.
at age 5.
So-
early childhood.
Becca's born,
Uh-huh.
right? And this is a specific memory I have. Rebecca was real little, but baby,
Right.
You know,
And the girl.
and the only girl in our family, and
Big,
she is
beautiful
getting
blue eyes.
every little scrap of attention possible. And we
Mhm.
asked Dad, "Hey, Dad, could you get out that video camera and record us do some funniest home videos?"
We're going to do it. We will be so funny.
And I'll tell you,
He did.
He did. He grabbed it. He pressed that record button.
Good father.
And boy, we got started. We were running around the house, crashing into walls.
It was so funny.
Falling over, like just the type of
laughed.
things that were happening in these videos that
Right.
were hilarious.
We laughed and laughed and
So-
laughed.
We finish up, and we're ready to submit our content. I've got the address written down
On an envelope.
on an envelope.
That
We're going to
could fit-
send this tape in.
and it could fit a VHS tape. That's how big the envelope was. It's like this big. I'm
knowing
using my hands.
the comic genius that was in that video, we knew at that point
We were successful.
we were a shoo-in. We were going to get tickets
You know,
to Los Angeles.
We wouldn't be on a failing podcast today. Our podcast would be called The Successful Podcast because we would have started back in 1991.
But what happened? Do you remember what happened?
Yes, I do. We reviewed the tape.
We felt the need to, we know it's gold. We know
It's
it's
solid.
comic gold.
But as artists, you have to check your work.
it's necessary.
Sometimes you got to go back and take another look.
Right.
So we popped the video into the VCR as you would, and hit the rewind button because be kind, rewind. And once we hit play, it was about 3 seconds of me and Ben and Levi putting on the best performance, the funniest content.
It was. I mean, Stooges would have just said, "Wow."
The Smothers Brothers would have
The new
smothered.
Stooges are born
Yes.
at this point. There are 3, and we've taken their place.
Yep.
And it slowly pans away from the hilarity that's
Amazing
being
performance.
done.
Yes.
and moves to,
Panning over to our sister.
and she's just laying on the floor.
Being a baby.
She's just laying on the floor.
And you tell me, what the heck is funny about a baby?
Nothing.
Nothing.
No, she's laying
No.
on the floor, and Dad's going, "Hi, Bekah. Hi, Bekah Boo. Boop, 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 boop." And all you hear in the background is us going, "Whoa, whoa, 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 whoa."
Yay, yay. Being hysterical.
So let me ask you this.
Okay.
After seeing, I felt like my life was forever changed that day.
No, yeah, our relationship definitely changed.
Well, we knew at that point who the star was
Yeah.
without even,
She did nothing for it.
no, she just had to exist.
What happened after you guys found out that you weren't going to be on America's Funniest Videos, home videos?
Well,
Were you
let me just
sad?
tell you, Ashley, the tape was never sent in,
It was never sent in.
and that part's a little bit sad.
But
This
what-
it.
I mean, did you cry? Did you talk to your dad about it?
I don't know that. I think we just repressed it. We just shoved it deep down.
Yep. It,
Threw some food on
And-
top of it.
in fact, this is probably
Made ourselves feel better with pizza and
tacos.
tacos
Or
Yeah.
Chinese food on Fridays?
or Chinese food on Fridays.
Yep. Or
Something like that happened.
Aunt Jan's Pizza on Saturday nights.
Now we're
Mhm.
talking.
Mm-hmm. The thing about it is when Bekah wonders why she tends to be forgotten, it's because there was one point in life that she wasn't forgotten. She was seen. And for that, the rest of her life,
She's paying for it.
she's paying for
It's
it.
a heavy cross to bear.
Listen, it's a life sentence. Sometimes, but you're going to have to bear it. And there are other sisters out there that I'm sure bear the same.
Burdens.
There's probably a support group,
You
at
know,
least a Facebook
but
group.
Dad didn't pay for my wedding.
Dad paid for her wedding?
Yeah. He also bought her a car.
Dad bought her a car?
Yeah. And paid for her college.
Dad paid for her college?
Yeah.
We had to join the army.
I know.
We deployed twice.
I know. Iraq and Afghanistan. And guess who still doesn't have a degree?
Well, I do.
Oh.
Ben raised his hand.
Oh, for those not watching on YouTube, I raised my hand. I figured out I didn't really need a degree for the subset that I went into. And for all of those that are out there trying to find themselves in the world, a degree isn't necessarily necessary.
I'm really glad that we got that out. It's probably best that that's off of our chest anyway. Maybe now that it's out there into the world, people will understand the situation we're in.
If you see Bekah, say hello. She's not
Please.
invisible.
No. And honestly and truly, we love her.
I mean, she's okay.
Oh,
I liked her more when she was a baby.
that she was a great baby.
She was really cute.
Yeah. Can I tell you a story? Yeah.
I'm riveted.
Okay.
YouTube.
If you're watching on
Just
YouTube,
yawn.
Ben just dramatically yawned in my face.
I don't know why I'm so
I
tired.
don't know either. I'm
Because
trying-
you want to know why? You want to know why I'm tired? It's
Why?
because one day when I was around 31 years old,
Uh-huh.
I got a little bit tired throughout the day, and then I've just been that way ever since.
31 is a very specific.
You're saying 7 years ago
I got a little
you
bit tired.
Slept.
I
You
got a
didn't
little
sleep
bit
enough.
tired about halfway through the day,
Okay.
and then like ever since then, I've always just been a little bit tired. Like it doesn't matter how much sleep I get, I feel like I'm just always a little bit tired. I don't remember having felt truly awake in 10 years.
That might be something to see a doctor about.
Well, I got a CPAP machine, and that helped ish.
Yeah.
But now I'm just less tired than I was before.
But you're still tired.
Oh yeah.
You want to know what's interesting?
Could you not like go in the other room and take a nap right now?
No, I mean I'm pretty awake, but I'm taking a new ADD medicine that helps me stay focused.
Ashley, could you go in the other room right now and take a nap?
That was definitely me yesterday. Yesterday I pretty much all day I was like I could fall asleep right now.
I don't. Other people that are around 38 years old, if you could just chime in and tell me if you got a little bit tired one day and then it progressively has gotten like it is the exact same. Now you're just tired for the rest of your life.
Thank you for pulling me into the pool of people that are around 38 years old.
That's a good point. She actually is not. I know we always
Well,
think
that's
of her
what
as
I.
being.
That's why I was wondering. I was.
You asked me and then you said other people that are 38 years old.
Ashley is not 38. She's 20.
Something.
She's 20-ish, 25-ish.
She's in her 20s. Poor thing.
Poor thing. A lot to learn. A lot to learn.
A lot to learn. So much growing to do.
So much life. So much life.
Thanks.
So speaking of children, I wanted to tell this. I was going to tell you about how.
Because Ashley's a child.
Yeah,
Great.
That's
Good segue.
speaking of children,
Uh-huh.
I was going to tell you about my kids. So they've been, they pile in the car and they literally have been they just fight over who's going to get whatever seat.
Mm-hmm.
AB and Ari are still young enough that they're in car seats. It's mostly Micah and Sam that are, fighting over, the back seat.
Like backseat.
Yeah.
Oh, so it's not even a shotgun.
No. It's who gets to sit in the captain's seat in the back.
So the knee range seats.
Right. So I
The
don't want
hump?
to sit on the hump. I want to
Oh.
sit. So they both have decided the seat on the right side is the best seat, and that's the one they both want all the time. So, like any good, dad, I try to come up with a solution, and I just go back to what we did. I said, if you want it, call it. That's the way that you do seats.
Yeah.
Name it and claim it.
It is. It's a name it, claim it situation,
Why don't you just
Not
do the,
much of a Joel Osteen guy, but in seat situation, that's where you can name and claim.
Why not just go Baptist mythology?
Mythology? I don't think it's a mythology if it's not
Baptist
a myth.
methodology.
There we go.
Why not just go Baptist methodology
Uh-huh.
and that's just their seat?
Once it's yours, it's yours.
Yeah.
That's an interesting. I feel like we could pick that up. There's another piece to the whole idea of your pew is your pew.
Okay.
Except for on Easter, then it's whoever
Right.
happens to
Easter,
show. It's free for all.
I forgot. You can't get mad.
Can't get mad.
Nope.
But in this situation, I thought, yeah, sure. We'll just do the calling seats thing. Dumb me didn't actually think about the fact that if I call a seat, that doesn't necessarily mean the fight is over, because then I had to go into all the rules of calling a seat. Because then, Micah called it like 3 or 4 times in a row, and then Sam's like sad because he never thinks to call it first, And I thought, I remember being the kid that never called it first. Yes.
Like shotgun, all the shotgun
So,
rules. You're
yeah.
just saying shotgun rules apply.
Essentially, the shotgun
Vehicle has
rules.
to be within sight, all
Right.
that jazz.
But then you have the problem of you have to be judge and jury as well.
Sure.
Because then, we'll come out and, the seat is called. I didn't hear the seat get called, but Micah claims he did call the seat. Nobody else heard him call the seat. I remember this very same thing happening when we were kids, and you would pretend to call a seat.
Yeah, I was lying.
Okay. Well,
Yeah. And then sometimes I would call a seat, and then you would lie and say I didn't call it.
that doesn't sound like me.
That's what would happen.
Well, needless to say, this has just brought in a whole bunch of trauma from childhood that I didn't know I
You
had.
weren't ready to
I wasn't.
face
I
that.
just wasn't ready to dive into all that.
Wow.
You know.
Okay.
The '90s word of the day is booyah. Booyah.
Booyah. I know that I've said booyah before.
Mm-hmm.
I don't really know. It was like, hey, I won. Booyah.
Yeah, that's pretty much what it is. That's booyah. So that was booyah is an explanation used in various situations. It was used in 1990 in hip-hop slang to have been popularized by U.S. sports announcer Stuart Scott on ESPN SportsCenter. And essentially that was a situation. There's something you're excited about, a 90s phrase. The booyah was one of them. So booyah expresses joy. For example, booyah! I aced that test.
Yeah, but why booyah?
I think it's like boo, yeah, like you. Booing
Like
you.
boo you.
Yeah, like booyah. Booyah!
But I would be happy if you aced a test.
Well, I know, but I think
Why would
it's-
you be booing me?
Well, I think that was the example giving on the sheet. I don't necessarily think I would say it if I aced a test. I think I would say it in a situation like I shot a basket and I made it 3 points.
Yes, but I think just as long
Booyah.
as everybody's having fun, everyone wins.
And this is why we're not in sports.
Oh.
The following podcast
Eat my short. Not the mama, not the mama.
Goodbye.
Wake up.